Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
Welcome to my NFL draft series, where I'm going to cover some of my favorite college football players, some players I want to see go to the New York Giants, some players I think are great fits to other teams, and I thought it'd be great as an LSU fan, go Tigers, to start with Jayden Daniels, who really has risen up draft boards. I mean, he's Mr. Heisman, Mr. Heisman this year, fifth-year senior, a guy who wouldn't have even gotten to play this year if it wasn't for. So when Jayden Daniels came over to LSU from ASU, a ton of people really weren't expecting much. We kind of looked at it as LSU fans as maybe this guy can be a huge pickup for us, maybe not, but he'll at least be solid and he'll be at least better than what we have right now. He had huge cleats to fill, knowing that he had to replace a guy like Joe Burrow. Now, he didn't come directly after him, but he had to come in and replace someone of that caliber, someone with that much respect at LSU. And I think he did the best he very could do to replace Joe Burrow coming in and starting off kind of rough, getting him better as he went along. And the huge jump he made from year one to year two should be taken note of. I mean, if he can continue this trajectory, only good things are going to be looking for him in the NFL. So let's start off by looking at his season this year that won him Heisman against Joe Burrow's Heisman and championship season at LSU in 2019. So he didn't have as good a season, but he came a lot closer than anyone expected. So 72 completion percentage, better than Joe Burrow. 3,800 passing yards, and Joe Burrow had a ridiculous almost 5,700 passing yards. 40 passing touchdowns to Joe Burrow's 60. 1,134 rushing yards, definitely got Joe beat there, and 10 rushing touchdowns. So about 50 rushing touchdowns for Jayden Daniels and 65 touchdowns in total for Joe Burrow. So that's 50 for Jayden Daniels, 65 for Joe Burrow. So not the season that Joe Burrow had, but all-time great season as far as LSU goes. So compared to last year, it was night and day. He really took a huge step this year. So Jayden Daniels is 6'4", 210 pounds. So he's kind of a slight player, but he kind of bounces off people as he runs in the open field, and no one can really get a clean hit on him. So I think his frame is definitely going to have some more size added on. But in the meantime, I don't think he'll be a guy that just puts himself in harm's way, gets hurt, and isn't able to be available for his team. So something I'd like to see, although he's a great scrambler, a great runner with the football, great vision running the football. Something I'd like to see more of is some throws being made downfield as he's scrambling. He's done it in spots, but I just like to see a little bit more of that because he's got crazy athletic ability. He's got a nice arm, and I think he could do some more of that off schedule, extending plays and still being able to throw the football down the field with that rocket arm. So let's take a look at some plays where Jayden Daniels turns some of these scrambles, some of these off-script kind of plays into big plays with his legs. So as we go over Jayden Daniels' mobility, a lot of people compare him to Lamar Jackson. And at first I thought that was a crazy comparison, but you kind of start to see it as far as the ball carrier vision, as far as the ability to make people miss and be a natural runner in the open field. I think maybe only Lamar Jackson and maybe Justin Fields, but this sort of elite ability to run between the tackles, I think probably only a guy like Lamar Jackson has it in the league. So let's take a look here as Jayden Daniels is going to get the ball, drop back. You got a design quarterback draw. He's eventually going to find the hole here, right through. And then he's in the open field. He's making guys miss. Guys are sliding off of him. And just the way you see Lamar Jackson get tackled in the league, guys kind of slide off of him, makes guys miss. He never really gets hit too hard, and that's really Jayden Daniels. He didn't take too many huge hits because he kind of just glides around. Take another look here. Just kind of just glides around people, and I mean, is he really going to feel that hit the next day? I don't really think so. And this is another crazy run from Jayden Daniels. This is, I mean, probably the best run you're going to see in his entirety of his college career. And just take a look here. He's going to drop back. See that no one's open. And he's just going to take off. And you're thinking, okay, maybe he'll get 5, 6, maybe 10, 15 yards. And he's just gone, making a guy miss. And you rarely see quarterbacks cut back like this. And you just rarely see quarterbacks do that. You see running backs do it all the time. You see receivers do it. But quarterbacks being this sort of a weapon in the open field is crazy. So let's look at it from the broadcast angle, or sort of the all 22 angle. Let's take a look here. As he's going to take off. And just watch it from this angle. It just puts it in a perspective. How he just really just separated from everyone. Just take a look at the speed right here for Jayden Daniels to get to the edge and just pull away from everybody. Just pull away, pick those knees up, and he's in the end zone, and he's cutting back. I mean, dude is special. And I could show these running plays sort of all day, but just take a look at this one here. Takes the option, makes a guy miss, cuts back, makes another guy miss, makes another guy miss, and gets down. So here's an example. He didn't have to do very much of this because a ton of times he got good protection, or he was just able to kind of set his feet, or he just took off and ran. But he can throw the ball on the run. So let's take a look here. He's going to start to roll left. This is like sort of a design left rollout. He's rolling left, and he's able to center his shoulders and get the ball downfield. Really easy stuff right there for him. He does have this in his game. So that also goes into mobility too.
Got everything. I've got your name, I've got your address. Think I might pay you a visit.
Anyone can find anything on the internet, including your full legal name, your personal email, your home address, phone number, and even your relatives. Just do a Google search for your personal information or someone that you know, name, email, phone number, and see if a people search site shows up. This information is accessible because of data brokers who profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, and anyone else that wants to learn more about you. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. You can use my link, aura.com/diggy, to try 2 weeks for free and see how many data brokers are sharing your information. It's also linked in the description. You can also scan the QR code. Aura has already found my information on literally over 100 sites so far. And guess what? If they do take my identity, they'll cover me up to $1 million. They have a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and antivirus software. If you sign up right now with my link, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial. Go to aura.com/diggy to start your free trial now.
Woo-wee! I'm gonna finally be able to get that PS5.
All right, so in 2023, Jayden Daniels displayed consistent accuracy pretty much at every level of the field. As you saw, he completed 72% of his passes. Sure, a ton of those were screens, but he also threw the ball in the intermediate area of the field. He threw the ball outside the numbers. He threw the ball inside the numbers. He threw the ball downfield. So definitely impressive with his accuracy. He can make every throw on the field, but of course there's room for improvement. I'd like to see him start to read the entire field and start to move off of his first read a lot quicker and just get a lot better at the reading of the defense, especially as an older player in college football. Not to say that he's not doing it already at a high level, but of course at the next level, everybody's going to have to improve there. Another thing I see is sometimes he just bails from the pocket too early. Sometimes he sees pressure that isn't there, or he'll evade pressure. And instead of just standing and waiting for a guy to get open or looking downfield, he just kind of takes off and runs. So, of course, those can turn into big plays as well. But that's also something that will come in hand in the future as an NFL player. So let's take a look at some of the plays that he made throwing the football. Was not really that high on Jayden Daniels in 2022. A lot of times he would lock himself on the one side of the football field, or he would just kind of predetermine where he's going with the ball. Here's kind of a mix of good and bad in 2022 for him. So he immediately knows that they're sending a blitz. Everybody in their front six right here is coming after the quarterback. They're basically all but telling them, listen, we're all blitzing. Everybody's blitzing here. So he knows that he's going to have a crosser that's going to be open here, and he's going to have the running back, John Emery, that's going to be in the flat. So I think this ends up working out to be a wheel route, but he knows that he's got to dump the ball off either here or right around here, and he gets pretty much instant pressure and decides that he's going to get the ball to the running back out of the backfield, and John Emery just does the rest. So just take a look here. Boom. Instantly gets it out. So you could say, oh, he predetermined where he threw the ball, which is true. But also, this is the time where you want to kind of predetermine, like, okay, I need to get the ball to here, because if he waits a little bit, he may not be able to get an accurate throw. It could get batted down if he throws it right in front of him. And I can almost guarantee you it wouldn't have been a touchdown. So gets the ball to Emery, catches it, and he's able to turn this into a touchdown. So here's 2022 also, and we know that this ball gets completed. And it's not that big of a deal here in college, but just again, as people are going to be watching this tape, this is something that people are going to realize and that he's improved on in 2023. But watch how as soon as he snaps his ball, his eyes are on Kayshon Boutte, and you know where he's going to the ball. He's looking immediately at Boutte, and he's going to turn around. And just the easy pitch and catch, which isn't an issue, but again, a ton of times I saw him looking at one side of the field or predetermining, kind of staring the receiver down at the beginning. But of course, this time it ended up going well for him. But right here on this play is pretty much cover one robber, which is man. You got one deep safety. You got the linebacker underneath just waiting, kind of spying, also waiting to see if, quarterback might throw him the ball. So this is pretty much man across the board. Jayden Daniels is going to be under pressure here. The pocket is going to start to collapse, and he doesn't really panic. Just takes a step back here, resets, and let's play it in real time. He's going to take a step back, reset, and isn't able to step up in the pocket. You see his lineman's foot is almost stepping on his foot, and him not even being able to step into the ball delivers an accurate pass. Moves the chains. So this is another instance here where Jayden Daniels beats the blitz. So he recognizes from this look that his hot read in this blitz situation is going to be the tight end here. I think this is Mason Taylor here. And he's going to get the ball to him. So he sees that the linebacker is blitzing, recognizes that before the play, immediately knows where to go with the ball. And you see, if he's not aware that blitz is coming, he's not getting the ball to this guy, and you're not getting, a nice size play out of it. So right here is just a big display of the ability to zip the ball, also similar to Lamar Jackson. And I mean, just the arm strength here beats the safety to pretty much a dangerous throw. But because he's able to just kind of fire it in there with so much velocity to Kyron Lacy here, just take a look. And then right here, look around the 10-yard line. The safety is breaking down. He's reading Jayden Daniels' eyes. But it doesn't matter. He just zips it in there on the outside shoulder. Beautiful placement right there. Beautiful placement to that outside shoulder. As he sees the safety is kind of undercutting that, he's like, let me put it on Lacy's back shoulder. Protect him. And then you get a touchdown out of that. Take a look from this angle. Boom, right there, beats it with the arm strength. And because that ball is placed on this left shoulder, it's easy money. And the ball placement is key right here. As you'll see on the top of the screen, he's just going to throw a beautiful back shoulder here in man coverage. No one's open, you say, but guess what? Someone's always open when you can throw a beautiful back shoulder pass. All right, so these are a couple of things quickly that I noticed is that sometimes he does have the tendency to bail from the pocket early because he is that great of a runner. And this turns into an A-plus play because his ability to get away from pressure, get downfield here. But just take a look here. You're going to see him get the snap here, and pressure is going to come off the edge, but the running back does a good job of picking it up. So at this point, he's able to reset here, and he has a wide open man right in front of him. Now, folks that didn't do too well in physics class, folks that just don't understand momentum might say, oh, this guy's just going to Madden move back the other way and intercept it. No, that's an on-time throw here. You got a guy coming over across the middle here. That's an on-time throw. You reset right here. That's a completion. That's fine. So he doesn't throw that there. But again, he turns into an A-plus play by cutting back. And at that point, it's off to the races. He gets that yardage anyway. And then something I mentioned that he struggled with in 2022 happens here. It's a quick slant, and you're just going to see him stare the guy down. And the defensive end is going to, he just knows that the ball's going there because he's staring right there. So he's dropping back, staring it down, and there you go. So real easy stuff for him to swat that ball just because he's kind of telegraphing where he's going to go, and it's easy at that point. So again, what stood out a lot was the deep ball accuracy and willingness to really throw those deep balls really on a different level than everyone else in college football. Maybe Michael Penix is up there with the aggressiveness, but with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, they were having parties in the end zone every week. LSU with Jayden Daniels at the helm had over 100 explosive plays. That's plays over 20 yards, and that led all of college football. So let's take a look at some of the deep throws that he was able to make or attempt now. So this next play here kind of reminded me of the Kobe meme. Rest in peace to Kobe here, but it reminded me of when that meme where like everybody's guarding him and he's still taking a shot, and they're like, blah, blah, blah is open. This person's open. He's like, no, I'm open. And this is kind of what this play reminded me of. Jayden Daniels is an absolute, he's a dog. He's going to get the ball to his guys, which I think is part of the job as an NFL quarterback, is you got to just have trust in your receivers. You got a superstar receiver, get him the ball, feed that dude the ball, show him that you believe that he's the best receiver in the game, and he will reward you with plays like this. So let's take a look here. We're going to see this as Malik Neighbors is going to get doubled here. But just take a look at number 2. Watch the number 2 on your screen. Watch him get open on this crosser. He's wide open. And Jayden Daniels is like, no, Malik Neighbors is covered, so that means he's wide open. So he's going to throw this into double coverage here, put it right on the perfect spot on his back shoulder. And it doesn't get caught. But he's like, I'm throwing the ball to my guy. And I think, again, it just takes guts to be this type of quarterback. Because a lot of guys don't want to make this throw. A lot of guys won't take this risk. You know, guys like Aaron Rodgers, guys like even Daniel Jones. A lot of guys just won't throw this ball into double coverage like this. And I think this misses a lot of big plays for your offense. Not to say that this guy should do this every play, that he should do this twice a game or even every game. But just this sort of confidence he has in Malik Neighbors is just beautiful. So that's something that I think will translate really well over into the NFL. And oh boy, do you want to talk about a whole shot? You want to talk just about Malik, the neighbors know my name. Do you want to know about Malik Neighbors here? So just watch this double move here. And this isn't a Malik Neighbors film session, but just take a look at the confidence and the precision that Jayden Daniels throws this football with, as Malik Neighbors is going to go up, out, up, and the ball is just placed perfectly. Guys, this got caught. This pass got caught here. This pass got caught on the sideline. Perfectly placed pass on the sideline. So on this play, watch Jayden Daniels, watch the quarterback. He's going to start left, and he's going to look hard left. And this safety is going to move over just enough, hesitate just enough to allow Brian Thomas Jr. to get downfield on this go route. And this is because Jayden Daniels held that safety. So take a look here, hard look left, and then immediately go back right, because what's the point? He's already over. The safety is already way too far over for him to be able to help with BT over here on the right. So sets his feet, lets it fly. I would like this ball to be a little bit further outside and maybe a little bit further upfield, but even then hits him in stride. And there you go, big play. So right here, you just get a really beautiful throw. Malik Neighbors, I mean, absolute monster. Malik Neighbors is just open downfield here on this post. Let's just get Malik Neighbors out of the slot. He's getting upfield. He's gliding. Perfectly placed ball. Perfectly placed ball. You're going to just see him catch this. Instantly recognize it. Set his feet. Decent base right here, throwing it. Doesn't click his heels, which I've seen him do a couple of times. But really nice base here. Gets rid of it. Perfectly placed. Touchdown. And right here at the top slot, Brian Thomas is going to run a double move to the outside. And just another beautifully, beautifully placed football by Jayden Daniels. Elite deep ball thrower. Rainbow to the sideline. Perfectly placed. There you go. Take a look at it from the second angle. Takes the snap. Perfectly placed football. So I think with the right coaching, Jayden Daniels can be a great player in the NFL. I think he's shown you that with the right coaching and the right freedom to grow in an offense, that he can take it from one year to the next and really explode onto the scene. So I think if he gets the right coach, he's in the right situation, he has weapons. Of course, every rookie quarterback needs protection. I think he can really make some noise early on in the NFL, especially as things start to break down and he starts to make plays with his legs. So as far as a projection for him, he brings a lot to the table with that whole dual threat capability. He has a huge arm, as I mentioned. He can make every throw on the field. One huge question mark that I'd like to say is that he had two superstar wide receivers, and those guys could both be going in the top 2 rounds. Malik Neighbors is going to be a top 5 pick, a top 8 pick at worst, and Brian Thomas is probably going to go in the second round, and he may work his way into the tail end of the first round. So those are two superstar wide receivers as far as college football goes, and they could possibly have been the best duo in all of college football this year. They probably were the best duo in all of college football this year. So that's something to take note of. Was he just kind of getting carried by two wide receivers who were superstars, or was he part of that too? I think the answer always lies somewhere a little bit in the middle, and what quarterback isn't going to benefit from great players? So a quarterback that I would compare him to is it's Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson. We like to come up with all these other things to try to just be creative. I think the guy that shows up for me is Lamar Jackson. And I say that because the arm, the legs are very similar. He does not have that top end speed, but the running style is similar. How there's sort of like a powerful running to it, and they kind of are running like a chicken, where they're just like getting pushed, but they're not falling down, and they never take that big hit. That's my NFL comp for him. So what are your thoughts on Jayden Daniels from everything you've seen today? Who would you compare him to? And what do you think of his NFL future? What team do you want him on? And stay tuned for more clips like this coming soon of these draft prospects. Stick with me, and we're going to have fun this offseason. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.